So from the resounding silence, I feel like either nobody heard what I'm saying, we don't really know what we're trying to get out of it, or maybe the chat's not working. So can someone just reply to me and say, yes, I just don't know what I'm sure I'm getting, or something's not working, or just really anything, just to make sure that it's working. Aha, thank you, Lindsay. Yes, there are new changes. Okay, good. Hi, Candace. Also, just welcome. Just kind of wondering what you're looking to get out of this, because we kind of have a small group, so we can have a lot of discussion on this. What are the main differences? Okay. Okay, cool. We'll just rock and roll with that then. Like I said before, feel free if you have any questions or any comments, just unmute, ask away. This is really an avenue for discussion. So yeah, let's rock and roll. My name is Alana, for those of you who I haven't met. Yeah, U7 and U9, new law variations. We're just going to have a quick chat about the Rugby Canada explanatory document, talk about the half game rule, and then a little bit on the U7 and U9s, and then finish up with some questions. So pretty easy little meeting here. So the Rugby Canada document, I don't know if all of you have seen it or not. It was released just a week ago. So what it is, it's an explanatory document for the law adaptations and rules. And it was developed by Rugby Canada panel regarding the age grade law changes. So this document, you can use it kind of in addition to the game cards, which will be released in mid-April, to clarify rules and suggestions for changes. So the way that it's ideally used is for coaches who are on site when you're kind of a little bit unsure of, oh, we don't have enough numbers, or we're not sure about the space, we're not sure about the rules. You can just kind of use it as clarification to direct you where you want to move regarding playing the game. And it's super easy. So you really just download it and you can use it field side. It's a PDF. Let me see if I can figure out a way that we all can see it. So this should work. So if you can see this here, this is sort of what the law document, the explanatory doc looks like. There's a table of contents, some vision and mission statement, a little bit of clarification, and then it has an explanation of the rules for each age group with a little bit of recommendations based on kind of how to set it up. So if there's ever a dispute between the coaches of how we run the game, or what do we do with a tackle or a knock on, you can definitely refer back to this, just because it provides a little bit of clarity. So really easy document, super simple, really user friendly. So that's what that is. Any questions on that, or seems pretty self-explanatory? Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Cool. One of the main changes that's coming through that, thanks, Lindsay, I really appreciate you. One of the main changes that is coming through is the half a game rule. So for under 7s and under 9s, I don't necessarily see this as that big of an issue, but what it is essentially is that we are taking it upon us through Alberta to guarantee that each player gets at least half of a match every single day. So important here is that we're allowing players opportunities to play, and then they can accumulate all of these minutes either all at once, so they play an entire half, or they're through rolling subs. In addition to this is allowing each player to start one game, and then to facilitate this, we play festival style games, so 3 or 4 kind of matches per day. So like I said, for U7, U9, it's not necessarily that a point of contention where kids don't get to play as much, just based on the nature of the game and the age. But I think it's important, just with this age group, we can kind of set the standard here that the rugby that we want to play in Alberta is inclusive. We want to allow everyone an opportunity. So let's just get them on playing as much as possible. So that's what that is. And then there are a lot of tips about how do I ensure that everyone gets to play the half a game? What can I do? There's frequently asked questions, but I'm going to be releasing this PowerPoint as a set of notes. So you can just definitely feel free to go through that as you wish. There's a whole bunch. There's also a little video about the half a game, which was released by England Rugby, just kind of explaining it, and it maybe takes 2 minutes to watch. If you guys want to watch it, I can chuck it on, or if we'd rather not, because this is really self-explanatory, I can also just rock on forward, and I'm really happy to do that. So whatever you guys think. I really only need one person to answer. Yeah, thank you. I'm holding up this whole webinar, Lindsay. Just watch it later. It's super easy. It gives a lot of information, especially for people who are confused about why are we doing this, why not. There's a lot of information here. So yeah, feel free to watch that. So for the U7 rules, some main changes are, and this might even just be more of like main clarifications. You guys, I'm not necessarily a U7 coach, so this is kind of where I want to open it up to discussion so we can chat about it. But there's a clarification around the offside and around knock-ons. So in the Rugby Canada 2018 document, we'll go knock-ons first. There wasn't necessarily any rules specified about knock-ons. But now there is more of a rule where knock-ons are allowed, unless there are repeated sequential knock-ons by both teams. So the point here is that we want the children to just play, and not limit their opportunities to play simply because they're having a little bit more issues or they're not as developmentally prepared to catch and grasp. So if we just say knock on, play on, that's what we really want to promote. Unless there's about like 4 or 5 or however many knock-ons in a row, then that's when we stop the game. Allow it to restart with a tap and go, and then we rock on that way. Another law which is being clarified, so in 2018, regarding the offside, it was where the ball carrier stops after the flag is pulled, not where the flag is pulled. So maximum of 3 steps. So what we want to look to promote now is that when the ball carrier's flag is pulled after 3 steps, the offside line is where we want to work to get the defense 3 meters back from where that flag is pulled. So if a player is not 3 meters back and they're not in the way, then we just let it go on. But we just rock on that way. Are you talking about, Gord, are you talking about the offside law? Knock-ons. Yes and no. For the knock-ons, I would say we want to, yes, they can agree to the amount of limit the amount of knock-ons, but no to saying no knock-ons. So if we completely remove any sort of knock-on at a U7 age group, then it will greatly reduce the amount of ball and play time. But if the coaches say after 3 knock-ons in a row or 2 knock-ons in a row, then we stop the game, then that's absolutely allowed. Yeah. The offside law, I think it's provides a little bit more clarity around the space between where the ball carrier is flagged and then getting the defense, so just allows a little bit more of attack. So I would say more importantly is a knock-on rule, with the offside being a little bit more arbitrary, but a bit more clarification of where that line is. So I hope that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions regarding that, or does it all seem pretty standard? This is what we heard before, but we're not really reinventing the wheel for this. Cool. I'm good with that. U9s, the main changes are again concerned with the knock-on and the tackle or the flag pulling. So the one for the knock-ons for U9, it was just if there was a knock-on, restart with a tap and pass. But now there has been an additional option to allow knock-ons for coaches to discuss and agree. So what's really important here at U9 is the players they're a bit more mature, potentially been playing a little bit longer, so they should have more and improved catching, grasping ability. But we also do not want to limit their playing time, so allow a few knock-ons, have the coaches discuss, and let's just see the game flow a little bit more. And then there was more clarification for the tackle/flag pulling for U9. So prior it was just the flag is pulled. And now what has been added is the flag ball carrier may take 3 steps before a pass, and then they must pass within 3 seconds of being flagged, and then you let the play roll on. And then they're adding in 6 phases. So a team gets 6 attempts to score or 6 flag pulls to score. And if after 6 they are unable to score, then the ball is turned over, then the other team gets an opportunity to attack. Defensively, there's clarification around whoever pulls a flag. They cannot rejoin the play until they've handed the flag back. So with that, your player, they just pull the flag and they stand there and then they give it back to the person they flagged. And then the person who's getting their flag back, they just stick it back on before they can play. So that way we just kind of negate the U9s running all over, pulling flags and just chucking them anywhere. We're making them a little bit more accountable for the flag, give it back, let's be more fair, and then rock on that way. And then the third clarification around this was, yes, a flag ball carrier can score if they're already within 1 step of completing the action. So you can't pull a flag and then be running and then score, but if they're within 1 step, then we would totally allow that try. So are there really any questions around the U9 and the U7 rule changes? With this age group, there's really not that much. It was just more of clarification. And I would say that the main difference between the U7 and the U9 is there's a limit of knock-ons with U9, and the number of flags pulled for U9, there's going to be a number put on that, so they only get 6 opportunities to score, rather than the little bit more chaotic U7's game that will happen. Yeah, any questions on that? If there's just resounding silence, I'm happy to move on. If anybody has any questions on really anything around coaching U7s, U9s, I'm also happy to discuss that. We still have kind of a small number, so I'm really happy to hear any ideas people might have. No? Cool. Okay. And then that's really all I had. Then I just have a little bit of resources. So like I mentioned before, the half a game tips and frequently asked questions. So as put out by England Rugby, they have a lot of resources for that. For U7 and U9, the rookie rugby resources are, thank you, Dan. I really appreciate you chiming in. I also agree that they are really positive changes. It's really in line actually with the rookie rugby rules. So if your coaches or if your players are ever lost, or if your parents ever don't know what's going on, just point them to that resource. And then there's also a quick little U7, U8, and U9 video, which is how the games should look like. And if it works, I would encourage you all to have your players to send this little video to your coaches. So let's see if it works. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, so just a quick video. This is what a U7 game.
On the 7!
So yeah, just a little. Ooh, hi.
Sorry, is the 3 meter rule for the 3 meter offside rule for both U7s and U9s?
No, it's just for U9s. Let me just return back to that. Sorry
to interrupt the video.
No, that's okay. It's good. I'm glad the video worked. That's really all I was concerned about. So
the slide with the U7s. Right?
Yes.
The slide with U7s that have a 3 meter offside line.
From the tap and pass restart. So so if there's a restart, we just to have the players to go back, and if the flag is pulled, we want to work to get the players on side. So it's not a stop the game and then get them back 3 meters. It's more of a encourage them to get back in the line. But if someone is just out like playing with butterflies or doing whatever and they're not in the middle of the game, then just let them do that.
Okay, is that for both U7s and for U9s?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. The U9 is more will be more regulated because of the tackle, the flag pulling will be more distinct in that age group. So yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, these videos, all these resources, definitely share with parents. There are no secrets. Get them all out there. So yeah, so I just think the main thing when you're kind of working with your coaches or they have questions regarding the U7 and U9, just to say the focus here is on ball movement, getting the players, the kids touches on the ball, getting them used to playing. It's not necessarily about a structured game. It doesn't have to look exactly like rugby, as long as they're running forward and passing mostly backwards, and that's kind of the goal that we want to get out of it. And then as the season goes on, they'll get better and better at it. So yeah. And that's all I've got. Pretty easy, not much to talk about. If anyone has any questions, anything they want to clarify, any concerns, just let me know. Otherwise, someone give me the sign and we can just sign out and be on our merry way.
Can you hear me there, Alana?
Hi, yeah.
Hi. I was just wondering, will we probably go over this maybe the first morning of each respective union's first festival, maybe? Just quickly. We will share this with our own coaches, but
yeah. Yes, I think in an ideal world that would be the best thing to go over this, just with a little bit of rule changes as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
With them, I was hoping that with these little webinars, it would kind of negate that meeting because people would be more aware of it sooner.
Yeah.
But what do you think would be the best way? Just to have a quick meeting with everyone, or just like age group? The mornings then?
Yeah, I guess just a quick meeting with the coaches, very first thing before we kick off,
Yeah.
in each region. So,
Although,
it is on us as club reps to share this with our coaches and make sure they watch the webinar. But the more knowledgeable coaches, I think the better we'll be for this. So.
yeah, absolutely. Yes. And I am like, I'll send this all out so you have this. You can send this to your coaches as well. And then I just think it'll just be on the ERU and the CRU to make it a point of all the coaches meet, have a quick chat, and then roll on, because that's pretty much all we can do if we can only work with what we have. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys putting this on, you and Gordy.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you attending, Dan.
We're way ahead of last year.
Yeah. That's all that matters. Cool. Well, if nobody else has any questions or any comments or anything like that, I'm happy just to roll on, send this out to people, and yeah, whenever we want.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, catch you all later.
Bye.
Bye.